Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. Episode 4. As you can see, I've finished up some stone path around the base so far to help us move around. I think we get 30% walking speed bonus for stone path. That's pretty significant, especially when you're running around as much as I am. And I've handcrafted some more stuff for us to use. Looks like we were still missing a couple items there. I was just coming up here to deposit some more circuits there to make more nanobots. I've also started to produce some steel up here. I'm doing this because I want to prepare for actually setting up the steel smelting area. And to do that, we're going to need blast furnaces and induction furnaces and casting machines. And as you can see, those all require steel plates to build. So we're going to need, I don't know, let's see, we're going to need 2 blast furnaces. So that's 24, plus 15 is 39, plus 9. So we're going to need 48 steel plates just to get the more efficient version of steel production running. So I'm starting to craft those up there. And I've also cleared some trees down here. This is where we're going to start putting in our science area. So let's get started. I want to start putting a main bus together so that we can get the ball rolling here. So we'll start with iron. I'm always leaving a gap of 2, or not always, but I strive to leave a gap of 2 so that we can accommodate underground belts. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan for 2 lanes of iron here. Okay, so we'll bring iron down first. I really now wish that I had set up smelting in reverse order, because now all these lanes are going to have to cross over one another. But in any case, we're going to plan for 2 belts of iron, 1 belt of copper, and then we'll put the steel belt next to the copper. Alright, so that'll be the first set of 4 rows. And then in the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, and then 1. Okay. And then in the second set of 4 rows, seeing that long reach, long build is already helping me out quite a bit, as you can see. We'll have the tin, and then we'll have the lead. Like so. Now I don't need tin and lead right away, but we'll be using it soon enough. Whoops. There we go. Alright. And I'm going to make some more of those undergrounds as soon as I get more iron. Okay, and then here I have stone brick. So, let me see. So we'll have iron, copper, and steel. Like that. We'll have tin, lead, something, something. And then here, I'm thinking we could have stone, alright, so for stone, what I've done is I decided to split the belt here. I'm going to... Actually, I'm just going to start... Yeah, I've got this chest here. I'm just going to pick that up for now. So at the end, I'm splitting it so that half of it will go to make bricks and the other half will come down this way, because I do need regular stone as well. Okay, so we can do stone and stone brick there. I'm trying to think. I need to add wood to the bus. And I'm trying to think where I want to put that. I think, well, let's take a look at circuit ingredients here. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll leave tin and lead. I'll leave those other two lanes open. So that'll be for stone, stone brick, and then, you know, see, as you can see, I don't have a super solid plan on what goes on the bus and where yet, but we'll get there. My experience with these mods is not nearly as extensive as it is with the vanilla game, so that's why I'm not quite as sure of myself now as I would be otherwise. Okay, so maybe here we can do circuit type stuff on this section of the bus. All right, so what I'd like to do is put wood on the bus. And for now, we'll do it like this. I'll keep a couple stacks for myself. There we go. And it would be nice if these would go on opposite sides of the belt. But they always... even when they're facing in opposite directions, the inserters are placing onto the left side of the belt. I think they just always put on the left side of the belt, no matter which way it's facing. Could be wrong about that, but... although maybe what we could do... I have a better idea. Alright, let's make this a regular belt. Yeah, no, I do want that to be on the other side. There we go. Crap. Maybe not. Does that work? Okay. Yeah, that works. Sometimes it's the simple things. Alright, so we'll do tin, lead, something, something, stone, stone brick, something, something. And then here we'll do... no, I think... Yeah, I think I'll put the wood next to the stone and stone brick. Sorry for changing my mind like that on you guys. All right. Okay. And then we'll put circuits on this next set of belts, and I want to have, I think I'm just going to leave myself like 8 sets of 4 belts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do one more. So I'm just going to reserve space for that. And we should have some room for fluids as well. So let's do another we'll do another 4 for fluids. And that might not be enough. Let's do 2 rows of 4 for fluids. There. Okay, I'm going to set this to trees and rocks only. Alright, so most of my nanobots are going to tree removal at this point. Okay. Alright, so that'll be the general layout of the main bus. It's going to go from north to south, and then we'll be building on either side of it. And what I'm thinking is we'll put science and the labs over on this side, and we'll put other stuff on the right side. Okay, so we've got some research finished. Let's see what we want to do next. Heavy armor. Okay, here we have the advanced smelting recipes now becoming available. I think I'm going to do copper first. That'll be a good product, or that'll be a good byproduct of us starting to make steel, and you'll see why once we get to that point. Okay, well, let's start making red science at least. So I'm going to leave myself 8 spaces. This is kind of my standard thing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the amount of room I like to leave for myself. Between sections of the factory. That way I have plenty of room to add the other belts and things that I will invariably forget. Okay, so I'll mark those trees for deconstruction so we can start working on that. Alright, so I'm going to do a typical 1 per second red science build. And for that, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or not red science, it's yellow science in this case. Let's call it science pack 1, which is what it really is. So I'm going to need gears and copper plates as normal. Alright, so we'll put the gears and copper plates up there. And then the science packs will come out down there. Pretty simple. And then here I will bring in iron. And I should start crafting a bunch of labs, shouldn't I? Alright, we'll start with those 8. That's going to take a while. Okay, and then over here we need some copper. Down a bit lower. Ah, I'm out of belts. Okay, let's go and grab some more iron plate and belts. Let's get even more. Alright, we'll get those nanobots. I'm going to keep the circuits that I have. There's 400 belts. That'll keep us going for a little while. Okay, and then we'll split off here. There we go. All right, and that loads on the inside. And then, of course, here we're going to need, I'll put 2 inserters in and 1 out to begin with. Yeah, let's do them in pairs. That way we can use our power poles efficiently like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Throw in a couple of lights. And then we just need to give it some electricity. Okay, and we'll be making red science packs here. Clear out some more trees. All right, and then I'll leave 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll leave 6 spaces, and then we'll put in our labs. There. Whoops. We need one more belt. There we go. Okay, and then we can tear up our bootstrap science setup. And I think I'm going to move this over there as well, so that we don't have to continue coming back here. Let's clean up these power poles here. Let's see, 1, 2. All right, let me get rid of that one so I can see what I'm doing better. And they're still misaligned by 1. Okay, not a big deal. All right, let me, I'm going to blueprint this so that I can move it. Let's see. All right, I do need this. And then I need power here as well. Okay, good. I think that'll do for now. And then we'll put these 2 labs over with the others, and I'm going to craft 10 more while I'm at it. So we'll run 20 labs altogether. And I think that'll be at least a good start. Now, my plan for the starter base, you know, normally in my Let's Plays, I'll do the starter base to do all the research up to the rocket launch before I start to move off-site. In this playthrough, however, I'm going to be starting to go off-site or outside of the starter base much earlier, just because it's with the mods that we're using, the starter base would become very, very big and complicated if we try to tech all the way up to the highest levels of research. So we'll get up to at least at least the first 2 science packs, perhaps the 3rd, and then we're going to start expanding into train outposts. Okay, and then we can throw in some lights here. And science will now be going much, much more quickly. All right, speaking of which, let's do, you know what, I'm just going to turn on, at this point, yeah, let's upgrade our bots. So let's do nanobot range and nanobot speed. We'll do those next. That'll make our bots work better, which will definitely be a good thing. All right, I'll get rid of these extra science packs that I've got. Okay, so now we'll be able to do science much more quickly. Let's put down this temporary circuit making setup. This could really go anywhere. Okay, so we'll put it right here for now. Put in some wood there, put in some copper here, and that'll make circuits. Just to keep us going until we've got that automated, which is really our next endeavor. So let me bring some circuits up here so we can get some more bots crafting. I'm doing fine on belts. I'm doing okay on iron plate. Let's go ahead and grab this steel and see if we've got enough to make what we need. I need more stone brick. Okay, but yeah, I have 67 steel plates, so I think we can pick those up. We're not going to need those anymore. Let's check power again, since we're now running all those labs. We're still doing okay. I also want to double up on my iron production fairly soon. Okay. Stone brick. Okay, yeah, so to make steel, we're going to need 2 blast furnaces, 1 induction furnace, and 1 casting machine. Okay, good. So we've got what we need now to make steel in the more efficient manner. And now that we have at least Science Pack 1's automated, that is what I would like to work on next. And I'll handcraft some more inserters while I'm at it. Yeah, so the steel I think we'll put up here. And I can see that we're starting to get close to these biters. So I'm also going to... Oh, I can only make 1 turret. Alright. Yeah, I'll have to start crafting a few gun turrets and ammunition here as well, so that we can at least clear those 2 bases out, because I think they're going to get in the way of our expansion. And then as we work our way south here, we've got some resource patches that I want to preserve. Yeah, so we might have to jump over those. We'll see. I'm not sure how far south we're going to need to go. But all right. So for steel, we need iron ore. We don't turn Tsavorite directly into iron. And let me show you the process chain that we're going to be following here. All right, so steel plate, this is the first recipe we've been using, 60 seconds and 30 iron plates. We want to get to this much more efficient one where we make steel from molten steel, and that turns into 4 steel plates. So the molten steel is made from steel ingots. Steel ingots are made from iron ingots and oxygen. And the iron ingots are made from iron ore. And to get iron ore, we need to process crushed Tsavorite in our ore sorting facility. All right, so that means that the next one that we're going to need to do is advanced iron smelting. And then we need advanced steel smelting. Okay, and to do that, I'm going to need Science Pack 2s. All right, so we're not going to be able to get to that right away, but at least I can get started with some of the sorting. And I think I'll set that up over here. So we'll start to run the sorting process so we can start to accumulate some ores. that we can use to make the steel when we're ready to do that. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. All right, so here we're going to do crushed Tsavorite ore sorting. And to feed this, we need 4 crushed Tsavorite every 1 second. All right, and here we get 2 crushed Tsavorite every 1 second. So that means that we can have 2 of these machines crushing ore and feeding in. And we'll need to upgrade those to fast inserters, but I don't have the materials yet. So I'll leave them as yellow for now. Actually, we'll just do 2 yellows. Okay, so that means we're going to be feeding in Tsavorite. It'll get crushed here, and then the crushed Tsavorite will go in here. And then for now, I'm just going to have, let's see, what is this going to give us? It's going to give us 1 slag, which we don't have a use for yet, but we will soon. It'll give me 2 ores and 1 copper. All right, so we're going to have 4 coming in and 4 coming out, and I'll just have those go into chests for the near future. Advanced lead and tin we don't need yet. Chemistry, automation 2. Yeah, let's do automation 2 next, because we're going to need that for science pack 2s. All right, and then we can do basic chemistry, and we'll see what we decide to do after that. There we go. Okay. All right, let's set this for trees and rocks again. And we'll just take a splitter, whoops, off of here. Okay, and then we need to figure out what to do with our crushed stone. Okay, but we can see now we're starting to get iron ore, we're getting copper ore, and we're getting slag. But these are stopped because of the stone. So I think, no, actually, do I have, I can make filter inserters now, but again, I need the second level of circuit boards, which I can't make yet. So for now, let's use assembly machines, as we have done in the past. I think we can do something like this. There we go. Okay, and I'll just have that go into a chest for now. Oh, no, I don't want all that stone to go in there. I need to put the stone away. Okay. So that's not running completely at full speed yet, but that'll at least get started so that we have some iron ore to use when we're ready to start making the steel. Okay, so that looks good. Let's go over here and pick up some more bots. And I think we need more mining on Tsavorite. All right, so you'll notice now that we're getting iron and copper from the crushed Tsavorite, and so what I need to do next is, I mean, not immediately next, but once we get steel set up, then we'll convert our copper smelting from using crushed stereotype to using that copper ore that we're generating as a result of the sorting process. All right, and I'll put these 3 drills over here, I think. Alright, and that should give me close to a compressed belt. We can balance the lane here by doing this. And there we go. Okay, so that'll give us a fully compressed belt of Tsavorite. All right, we got basic chemistry done. We could go for Mark II mining drills, which I don't really want to do yet. Fluid control. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to turn on the automatic research at this point, so I'm not too concerned about the order that they're done in anymore. Okay, so I think now we can start to automate some circuit production so that we can get to the point that we can make blue science pack 2s. Put in some more copper there. And I'm going to need to grab some copper up here as well. All right. And I would like to do something with the stone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to make some more steel here, so that I can make a couple of silos to hold stone and stone brick. But in the meantime, we can do something like this. There we go. Okay, so that'll give us a little buffer for the stone. And I lost my power. All right. Right, so the next step will be to start to make these circuits so that we can do that with automation, and we'll use that to make Science Pack 2s because we need those for the inserters. So let's plan that out. So if we go to Helmod, I'm going to use this to help me figure out what ratios we need to use to make those circuits. All right, so we'll go to intermediate products, basic circuit board is our output. I'm going to tell it to compute by factory. That way I can just basically put in how many machines I want making these circuits, and then it'll it'll calculate the ratios based on that rather than by parts per minute or parts per second. Okay, so I'm going to start with, I don't know, let's say 10. And I need to change these to, right now it always assumes that you're going to use the highest tier machine available. There is a bug in this mod now. When you go to select a different factory type, you get this big error. It's already been reported, so I'm hoping that it'll get fixed soon. But until then, you're going to see that error pop up every time I do this. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the assembly machines with assembly machine 2s. I'm actually going to start with, or no, I'm sorry, with electronic assembly machine 1s. That's what I want to use. Okay, and then the ingredients are the wooden boards and the copper cable. So if I click on wooden boards, I select the recipe. That'll add it here too. And again, I need to change the factory type to one that I actually have access to. So that tells me that for 10 basic circuit boards, I need 3 machines making wooden boards. And then we'll add the wood, which we are going to be making with the standard vanilla recipe from raw wood. In this case, we're going to be using let's go with assembly machine 2s. And then we need to add the copper cable. And for those, we'll use the electronics assembly machine 1s. We'll need 8 of those. All right, and I think that's everything. So what this says is that we have a ratio of 10 to 3 to 2 to 8. Now, once I have a ratio like this set up, if we make it 100, that gives me a little more resolution to the numbers here. So 100 to 25 to 17 to 75. Basically, what I want to do is I want to get so that the smallest number is just barely at 1 or just barely below 1 to get my ratios. So that I don't have, for example, if I set this to 10, right, this tells me that I need 2 machines making wood, but actually I'm only going to be using 1.7. So I want to get as close to a whole number ratio as possible for the sake of efficiency. So that's why I put in 100, so I get a little more resolution. So 100 means 1.7, right? If I go to 50, that tells me 9. What would 60 be? All right, so 60 would be 10. So now if I make this 6, this is kind of my minimum ratio. So 6 machines making circuits will require 1 machine making wood boards, and then 2, and then 5. Now the circuits and the copper cables are so close in number that I will just do a 1-to-1 ratio. I'm not going to try to do 6 to 5. I'll just do 6 and 6. But then we'll have 1 making wood and 2 making wood boards. All right, and then I can pin it by clicking here. So I can close that, and then I can keep that up there as reference. All right, and we'll start making this over here on the other side of the bus once I get some space cleared. So I think this will be a good time to break. We'll end this episode here, and then in the next episode, we'll get the circuits set up. We will also start to make the ingredients that we need for the basic electronic boards. That's the next level of circuit that we'll need to do. And that's important because those are going to be required to make the assembly machine 2. And the assembly machine 2 is required to make the inserters, because inserters have 3 ingredients and you can't make those with an assembly machine 1. So, so that technology is required in order for us to get to Science Pack 2s. All right, so I'll start to get things set up to get that going, and we'll continue in the next episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.